The guy is scared.
What's going on, my beautiful GUNNTARDS, gun shields, gun stands, and GUNBozos of the world?
It's me.
Hit like, subscribe, salam alaikum, walaikum salam, au revoir, auf Wiedersehen, ciao ciao, whatever. I absolutely love the English language and some expressions in particular, and one of them is the benefit of doubt.
What?
Do you even know what that means?
I do not know that answer right now.
Do you want to know what it is?
Shall we let the scholars do their job right now?
To give somebody benefit of the doubt means to believe someone or something, even if you're not sure about their honesty and being genuine.
In the British legal system, you are innocent until you are proven guilty. If they can't prove you're guilty, you will be found innocent, you will be deemed innocent. That is giving someone the benefit of the doubt.
Don't jump to say they're not Muslims. Someone says Assalamu alaikum and you say that person's not a Muslim. Don't do that. Don't just judge a person. They've greeted you. It's okay, that's enough. Authenticate and verify. Don't ever just say to someone who has greeted you that you're not a believer. وَلَا تَقُولُوا لِمَنْ
Where would we be without doubt? Another beautiful expression, by the way. We never have the likes of Thomas Edison or Howard Hughes or Steve Jobs or even the cell phone or PC you're using to hack your usual gun shield nonsense. So, the benefit of doubt, it's only due for those who actually try something phenomenal.
What we do in life echoes in eternity.
And this is exactly where a thick blood red line separates the careers of these men, Zack Snyder and James High School Hallway Clown Gunn. I had the idea for this video a few weeks ago, but then a newly bootlicker from the Gunstrickless company, aka Jason Momoa, whose career was basically saved by Zack Snyder, stated some of the most stupid remarks an actor could place. And that is part of today's news, along with others.
It's so dumb.
It's so dumb, it's brilliant.
No! It's just dumb.
It proves, no doubts, what a beautiful word, that the GUNTARDism, gunshillism, and gunstandism is contagious and will turn you into a damn GunnBozo. And when one does just a tiny effort of just tracing these two distinct man careers, what I see is a gigantic abyss, like the one that must be open now in Momoa's head, and it was always been the case of every James Gunn fan.
You're tearing me apart!
Now let's check out Snyder's career for starters, and then put it on par, if that's any possible, with Gunn's career. And I don't expect Guntardados to grasp the concept, but I'm here to talk to actually functional brains too, not only them. Zack Snyder started with some of the most amazing video clips and commercials of the 90s, and you can see them right now on screen, but the real return came when Mark Abraham, executive of Universal Pictures, opened the gates to Snyder because he was the kind of director that could make big with low budgets. And he was hired to direct a zombie movie written by James Gunn. So, of course, that makes them big friends, right? We'll talk about that later, but their friendship started out as professional camaraderie and never evoked nothing more than that. From that point on, Zack's success hits its most organic moment, and that's a theory of mine that I'd like to share. When the superhero genre was kinda resurrected in the early 2000s, and ZACK was part of that resurrection with 300, fans weren't obsessed with hyping their own studio or hyping their own line of stories told through endless movies. And fans weren't idiotic partisans in favor of their favorite brand, so there wasn't anti-Snyderisms or pro-gun-shillism back in the day, for that matter. But that of course changed before and because of Man of Steel, the famous Zod neck-breaking scene still giving nightmares to GUNNTARDS. Oh, Superman does not kill Zod. That would never happen. He would never do that. Give me my Superman back. And of course, the blatant sabotage that Marvel fans created in DC forums by pretending they were DC fans. That happened especially in the defunct IMDb forums that are defunct because of these shows complaining about style and decisions that no DC fans really cared about, and by consequence making up the minds of the most suggestible fans in places like Reddit, the C word, the gutter of the human mind, and other places alike such as Threads. Then ZACK's career was preceded with high-praised, divisive and/or controversial movies like Watchmen that I personally have very strong reserves about, The Owls of Ga'Hoole that he directed simultaneously to Watchmen, Sucker Punch, absurdly stylized, absurdly misunderstood, and of course, one of the greatest injustices to ever weigh on a man's head, his firing from Justice League while his daughter Autumn died, which then was turned into the utter garbage Justice League and somehow redeemed with the Snyder Cut, even though no pain resultant of his daughter's loss during the filming of Justice League will subside because the Snyder Cut was finally released. After Man of Steel, we have the arrival of James Gunn, and well, I gotta trace the sticky and inevitable separation between them, not only as for the type of movies that cemented their careers upon, but what they reveal about their vision of superheroes, and that is the golden number that defines who deserves the benefit of doubt and who doesn't. And well, I guess the answer is pretty clear, right?
Crystal.
James Gunn started as a writer over George Romero's original Dawn of the Dead, thanks to a certain old crazy dude called Lloyd Kaufman from Trauma Productions. Yeah, this one. And after that, what do we have for real? I mean, we have Lowly Love.
Greetings from Traumaville. I'm Lloyd Kaufman, president of Trauma Entertainment and creator of The Toxic Avenger. Over the years, Trauma has made a lot of money feeding the public craving for sex and violence. And that's why we feel it's now time to give something back to the community. Trauma has financed a touching new documentary about two young people who are trying to make the world a better place by helping the homeless.
We provide homeless individuals with a lollipop.
I think that a homeless person might see one of my artworks and it might change their worthless life into a life that has meaning.
$250,000 out of our pockets to hand suckers out to homeless people.
So what you're saying is you're open to the idea, but you're not.
No, what I'm saying is I'm closed to this idea.
If anybody cares anything about the homeless, it's me. You're the one that's on the telephones trying to get on TV all day. They smell.
They do smell.
Think back to like the Holocaust. A terrible, terrible time? Yes. Worth it? Perhaps.
That guy, he said that he was gonna f my bloody gash. I don't know what it means, but I draw my
that guy? That's your vagina, baby. He's talking about your vagina.
I really can't think of much else but Jesus Christ.
Starring Jenna Fisher of the hit TV series The Office, James Gunn, writer of Dawn of the Dead and writer-director of Slither, directed by Jenna Fisher. Trauma Entertainment presents the most outrageous, offensive, in-your-face comedy of the past 10 years, Lolly Love.
Yeah, that. We have PG porn.
And anyone can see. And I love it if you stay. Bitch, I love you. Oh, bitch, I'm leaving on us. If you tell me you refuse me, then I can't be thrown away. If you stay, bitch, I love you. Won't you let me run away? Me run away. Oh, bitch, I love you. Won't you let me run away?
What a surprise, James Gunn making sex a comedy. Lollipop Chainsaw.
Is an invitation for any funny stuff. Not that I have a problem with funny stuff, especially if you really like the person. My name is Juliet, and it is, as they say in Spain.
She's deadly. Let the zombie apocalypse begin.
What are you gonna do? Throw magic stars at chupacabras with your tongue?
Maybe, Dad. Nick's tongue is very limber.
How do you know that?
Yeah. Human Z.
Hey, James, what are you up to?
Hey, Val, I'm just waiting for the mailman to deliver my Human Z son. Jerked off into a little vial. I sent the vial, packed in ice, to a secret laboratory in Bratislava.
Okay.
And they put my sperm into a turkey baster.
I see.
And they shoved it up a chimpanzee's snatch.
What's a snatch?
Like a cunt.
I get it.
And now they're sending me my Human Z son. Half chimpanzee, half fucking me.
Wait, before you do, let's piss in the box all over the Human Z.
We're having a big party in honor of my new Human Z son.
Fuck yes!
Seriously, you gotta come. It's a cool human-chip hybrid.
That's not right. A Human Z is like, oh fucking God. Is there gonna be beer there?
Oh, yeah. It's gonna be the best party ever.
Yeah! I'm gonna call Penny. I've been in love with her forever.
Hello?
Hey, Penny, this is James again.
Hey, what's up?
I was wondering if you'd come to a rad fucking party at my house tonight, celebrating the arrival of my Human Z son from Bratislava.
Sure.
You were so gonna fuck her.
What was that?
Hey, everybody! I'd like you to meet the guest of honor, my new Human Z son! He's gross! Look, seriously! Look!
Look! The Humanzy's drinking a martini! Frick it!
I'm using a cheese grater on the Human Z.
Gonna kiss me?
No. Yes. Penny, I have liked you so much for such a long time.
Human Z, no! No!
That's right, Human Z. You're half fucking monkey. You're from the disgusting country of Bratislava.
Oh, but Billy is so sweet.
Oh, brother, here we go again.
It's got a thing with sex and suckers, right? We also have the high praise Slither, which I think it's just a zombie movie meets The Thing meets Worms.
Throughout the years, these classic horror films had one thing in common. From Universal Pictures. So disgusting.
Don't let him in your mouth!
It will change the face of horror.
They're doing things to people, turning them into some...
How's everybody's evening? Good? Good.
Something's wrong with me.
Slither.
Very unfunny, very uninteresting. And he hosts her role Scooby-Doo too.
Look, I'm a man of substance. Dorky chicks like you turn me on too.
I needed that. I needed that too. You're pushing your luck, Scoob.
And here is the ultimate mark. 4 years before Marvel took interest in him and gave him talking trees and talking raccoons, this little movie called Super, or Shopa, like Gunntards would say.
Excuse me, have you seen my wife? I don't think she wants to see you anymore. Sarah!
Jock, he stole my wife. Can you arrest him?
Sometimes it's better just to accept these things.
I'm making up my own superhero. He needs a weapon. That'll do.
Cool.
All it takes to be a superhero is the choice to fight evil.
Shut up, crime.
Don't steal! Don't deal drugs! Don't molest kids!
Brutal assault by the Crimson Bolt continued last night.
Are you him?
No.
That's cool. Ta-da! How do I look?
That's inappropriate.
Frank is the only thing that will save me.
We will take those suckers down. You just sit here and wait for crime to happen?
That's right.
This is so boring. I'm just learning. You have to teach me these things.
This is not about good and evil. This is about she loving me more because I am interesting.
Yeah.
Shut up, crime!
All in all, James Gunn was a porn horror guy who got along quite well on that genre. I mean, trash for trash. But this movie, as you can see from the trailers and pictures, it's exactly how James Gunn regards superheroes. A bunch of idiots dressed in weird costumes, making adult fantasies into foolish cosplay, while they could have been busy with something else, you know? Of course you do.
Engine.
And my engine doing to my vagina.
What?
And if you GUNNTARDS, GunnBozo's shoes and stands, come and say, these are two different things. Superhero movies are not like Shopa. Oh yeah, Snyder boss Start could say that, you're half right. However, if your squirrel brain allows you to do, please pay attention to the patterns, how cheap and half done this movie feels, even for this genre, and how not too distant, in fact very close, every superhero movie James Gunn made is to this Shopa movie in terms of design and the comical approach. It will hurt you a lot, but I don't care. He's a one tricky pony, and you can't fight it.
Found a peanut just now. Just now I found a peanut just now. I cracked it open, cracked it.
Do you know who I am? Do you know who you're talking to? I am an artist. I am a...
Look at that one. Okay, this one is particularly...
If only the two of you would have had premarital sexual intercourse, then I would have won.
Just relax and take the day off, man. Consider it a present from corporate fucking America.
Excellent upstairs.
Get off into me for, man. Why the fuck are you in your underwear? Tighty whities? Really? Now that's just racist.
So right after this super exciting 2 a.m. TV show's career, he gets Wonka's golden ticket and Marvel hands him out characters that fit his style so much. Since Guardians of the Galaxy is exactly what James Gunn is, in a comic book version of course, ultra-violent, gross, and uninteresting. And after that, and because of that, Gunntards will always come and say, James Gunn is amazing, he's able to make bad characters lovable, he can make you love a talking raccoon and a talking tree, he can handle the sea exactly because of that. Really? Really? Even Gunn fans are unanimous in saying that his only all-gold work was the first Guardians of the Galaxy, while Guardians 2 was weak and 3 was quite divisive, and it only happened because Marvel fret over how quickly DC hired James Gunn after scorning him because of some PEDO pictures, while he was, in this meantime, making the bland, savorless, wishy-washy, over-blooded, and blatantly silly Suicide Squad. By the way, can you say, in all honesty, that you did watch this movie and that you liked it?
Oh, come on!
Even Gunn fans are unanimous in saying that. So, James Gunn becomes a hitmaker while in the post-organic superhero fest era when Marvel dominated the narrative, and everything Marvel did, even awful things like Ant-Man 2 and Captain Marvel, would make $1 billion only because it becomes this Marvel fan punch card duty, and because people wanted to see the post-credit scene sometimes more than the movie itself. And so, hating on Snyder and his fans also becomes a part of their duty and of the sheeped-out, gullible DC fans who accepted the dirty pressure online. But here's another thing. There are two cursed, evil names that every DC fan, a GUNNTARD, Gunshio, etc., or a Glorious Snyder fan will agree they're indeed cursed: Walter Hamada and Toby Emmerich. Walter Hamada destroyed the DC brand in movies with his amazing ideas of bringing low-shelf DC characters to the spot, and Toby Emmerich was truly frantic on the idea of James Gunn directing Superman, and he clearly hated Snyder.
Is there a no that you, above everything else, really regret?
The 300. The 300. You know, she always told me Greek myth stories. She was a classics professor from Constantinople. And I was so close to it that I thought we should do it for real. And I saw this comic book, the Miller book, and I thought, oh, come on. The Miller book, and I thought, oh, come on. You can't do it like that.
Can I make you feel better?
Yeah.
I did too. Because we had ZACK SNYDER
Zack did, and he did Scott should do it. Ridley Scott should do it like Gladiator.
It wasn't obvious until, I mean, kudos to you guys, because it wasn't obvious until it was obvious, right? It was.
But at the time, when ZACK SNYDER came in, I said, wow.
It's some of those lines.
And we took
I think we've all said no. I think if you went back to every no that we've all given, you could pick a portfolio of films that would be more successful than the hits we've said.
Blondell, I don't believe it. Blondell, I don't believe it. I actually don't believe it. I don't think we, those of us who are a little long in the tooth. Right. I think for each one of the people around the table, whom I greatly admire, I tend to think because we all get it right more than we get it wrong. But otherwise,
I'm not saying every movie you said no to. I'm saying you could select.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, a small percentage of the no's, not all the no's. No. It's certainly more fun to say yes.
That's a very unprofessional attitude, by the way. And his proposal to Gunn to direct Superman, that he refused at first, went on and on with Toby basically harassing him on a daily basis while they were both on their individual gym treadmills. Can you picture that scene?
Hey, Brian, you want a pukesicle?
And James Gunn's participation and sanction on the madness that everyone agrees now that both Hamada and Emmerich were doing began even before he started his Gods and Monsters and No One Cares Little projects. So I'm making it clear to even you GUNNTARDS, shields, stand bozos, and fools finally understand. James Gunn is a son of Toby Emmerich and Walter Hamada. He is part of the destruction of DC and the DCU with the most embarrassing and weakest titles, with the likes of Shazam 2, Blue Beetle, that he overly praised and still does, The Flash, that he praised just so much it was unbelievable, and his utmost expendable, forgettable, and worthless Suicide Squad. He's been there longer than you remember, tarnishing even more something already ruined by Warner Brothers' dumb executives, pretty much like you. And of course, let us mention the haunting, the spine-chilling truth about Super Squirrel that made a haul of $42 million in domestic box office.
What are you talking about, man?
Pushing Warner Brothers to make up a profit never proven, by the way, with Blu-rays, streaming revenues, toys, all this stuff in stores. No one cares for that ugly Superman. That's the true and yada yada yada, you're wrong. And that creature commandos, that in-between place of Dunn's creativity with borderline porn and violence, which was made available for free on YouTube.
I got a bad feeling about this.
And also Peacemaker, Gunn's Apple of His Eyes, which will not return for a third season.
What the hell does that mean?
Despite of how much gun shields would come along, look at how James Gunn made Peacemaker cooler. That is not just Batman. Nobody knew who he was. James Gunn makes it again. Everybody loves Peacemaker. People laughed at Peacemaker said as Superman. And now Avatar, the most niched, echo-boring stuff that the now awfully woke James Cameron's. And by the way, this whole thing is over. Just deal with it. It did not work. Avatar made $1.5 billion, another salvation landmark for Fox, while James Gunn had the narcissistic nerve of saying that Superman was mid because it's not a known commodity and because people are ever more anti-American.
How does that mean?
Now, so all said and done, because I know I haven't got my point across with you, GUNNTARDS, because you had humongous cognitive problems, we came back to the inspiring point of this video. Won't you give James Gunn the benefit of doubt, all things considered, and all failures he brought to the DC brand, if you were to decide just now?
This is a message for the Oscar voters that snubbed Superman at the Academy Awards. What are we doing? Are we watching the movies of 2025? I will host an Academy Awards Best Picture for your consideration, and we'll all watch Superman together and tell me that's not Best Picture worth. It was life-changing. It was life-saving. I certainly walked out of there thinking, I love life. I love people. Movies are beautiful. What are we doing? Like, we're really gonna disrespect the embodiment of hope? Stop being goofy! I'm tired of the disrespect to comic book movies. How do I become an Oscar voter? I'm voting Superman, alright? The message itself of kindness being the real punk for contemporary times need that more than ever. Look around.
Yes, 4 failures. I mean 4. Suicide Squad, no one cares, it's horrible. Creature Commandos is terribly weak, it's for free on YouTube. Peacemaker, not a second season, everybody hated the ending. And Duperman. And if you still don't believe Duperman is a failure, I invite you to check the news later on this video. Therefore, why is it that you asked for Snyder's head right at the beginning, right at Man of Steel, and even more after BVS? When Zack Snyder had a much greater story to tell going forward, and his movies in fact were flops, only for those who think they own the characters like you do, demanding and demanding and demanding because you're experts, like good spoiled babies in the same fashion that you made James Gunn into. Now I have a little question for my little dumb cousin here.
You know the one I mean.
How can you wake up every morning knowing them only 3 years ago, and a long time really? You'd hype fans every week, sometimes every day, with the slightest evidence that the Snyderverse could be returned and based on factual news and even stupid rumors. And now you jumped ship to approve that.
James Gunn's brother, Sean Gunn, is out of control. Here we are. So here's our good friend, the Curly Ray. But here's what our good friend, the Curly Ray, says. This confirms that Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 and 3 will be in theaters. This is 100% guaranteed. This is also a win for everyone who wants ZSJL 2 and 3 to be in theaters. Sell ZSJL to Netflix, sell Snyderverse to Netflix, and tagging Netflix. Zod, you've heard this was the Sean Gunn. You yourself have heard this.
That is correct. Yes.
And here he is, off to Delulu Land. I guess, Zod, where do you see the Curly Ray shitting on anything that's not Zack Snyder? On Gunny Poo's post? On
it just goes to, here's the thing. It just goes to show this is not about a Curly Ray. This is not about anybody's opinion. It's about gun bot inferiority. All of the gun bots, including Gunn's brother, Sean, have an inferiority complex. So, as far as I'm concerned, I don't take anything that any of these gun bots, including his brother Sean, who clearly has a stake in all of this because he plays multiple characters in Gunn's soon-to-be defunct DCU. So as far as I'm concerned, anything that they say is just sour grapes. Anything that Sean Gunn says needs to be ridiculed, and he just needs to be laughed at. If anything, this validates all of us for showing how stupid the gun fandom really is.
So one thing I've been really curious about is you've referenced things like Peacemaker Season 2 and Lanterns setting up different threads and arcs. How far do these arcs go? Like, do they culminate in Man of Tomorrow, or can we expect them to go further than that?
Yes, they definitely go significantly further than Man of Tomorrow.
Okay.
So now, you know, whether or not that'll be me that's able to fulfill that promise depends on a lot of things in life. But yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh boy!
He was going to say, if I stay, because he knows.
Yeah, that. Look at Gunn's brother Sean Gunn, the slanderous choice for Maxwell Lord. What he does out in the internet, yes, confirm that is him. The Gunn clan is a reunion of thugs and bullies, Jennifer Holland included, who think they own IPs that are clearly out of touch. They're not worthy of having it, both artistic and as citizens, personal-wise. You should be embarrassed, but not only by that, right? And so, to Zack Snyder, all of the props and honors, being the great man he has always been, and for actually trying and achieving something different, greater, epic, and mythical level, just like they deserve. By the way, didn't he say that recently? Yeah, let's see it later, which is exactly what the greats do. They take risks, they innovate, and you believe them because they have tons and tons and tons and tons and stacks of tons upon it of credit. Because he wanted to bring something great, he wanted to bring something new as he did. Hence, the benefit of doubt with the expectation of the usual certainty.
We have our king!
Now let's move on with the old and let's get straight to the news. So there we have it, Jason Momoa, and the headline that serves us an ultrasound of his now vacuum cranium. That's what you get when you're too close of Gunn and company. And by everything we consider here so far, we can safely say he is wrong! So this is Momoa becoming just another corporal useless guy. And we're so sorry for the loss of your brain, Jason. We hope you recover it some way, someday, because if you actually had one, you'll never show this utter cheap piece of a birthday party entertainer costume with any trace of pride. I mean, I do my best to like James Gunn's or related designs, but whenever you look at Malays in a dictionary in the future, this picture will be right next to it. This is CW level with a few more bitcoins in the budget. And Jason Momoa's head has been waiting to play low since 10 years ago.
But I will do everything in my power to get that information for you.
Now, there is another thing that brings malaise to my mind, which is how certain fans are easily baited on clashes that anti-Snyder and, of course, anti-Nolan create to harm whatever they make. And now people are making a fuss over an information that's been around since, well, ever, about Lupita Nyong'o, made an actress beautiful, playing Helen of Troy and throwing it all on the damn DEI thing. I don't know, let's wait for it, because Chris Nolan isn't a sellout and he never bent to any woke nonsense stuff. And the more people talk about it, even Nolan fans, the more damage it does. So let's just wait for the already and certainly gut-chilling hyping the Odyssey, and I'll be there regardless what anti-tards, bozos, and such will say. Now back on to our art gallery with an actual purpose. Zack Snyder once again teasing his fans with pictures of the glorious processes of his DCU, the Snyderverse. But what people choose to ignore is that it has a certain sting to it. I mean, every time something happens against the DCU, Zack posts a very powerful picture that brings so many likes. And that sync goes to show that there is no such friendship among Snyder and Gunn except camaraderie.
I see.
Look at these beautiful pictures of the beautiful Gal Gadot and this phenomenal video of the period she was shooting Wonder Woman, and the pouring out talented Amy Adams. And of course, look at this particular picture with this particular response to the fan comment given by Snyder. As we should. It's not as it should be, or as it has always been, or as it is now, but as we should, implying it is not happening. You see, Zack Snyder replies in the most fair way. Each and every nice gesture from Gunn happens, and vice versa, but their eyes do not meet, period. And if you think it otherwise, you are the Lulu friendo.
You done lost your damn mind.
Manway, Zack Snyder published yet another photo with this not accidental, very implied element in the background, which set the internet on fire just to have it trigger a stream of rumors half that he's pitching a Dark Knight movie to Netflix, followed by multiple sources. But wait, why would Netflix even consider something like that when GUNNTARDS are saying, what just Netflix will continue only the DCU, the DCU is ahead. That's Serrano's have coffee with James John every day. The big friend, Zack Snyder has no chance on Netflix. He was canceled. Well, the end of this news might surprise you. Yet on Cosmic Book News, the once joked and scorned source of geek information tell us that Donald Trump's administration has heavy concerns on how culture is used to sow political seeds, spread in and from sexual behavior, and so many other social instances through series and productions from Netflix. And Ted Sarandos was well cooked during that Senate hearing he was subpoenaed to, and he felt like Principal Skinner's family receipt in the end.
You call them steamed hams, despite the fact they are obviously grilled.
You know, one thing I should... Excuse me.
We'll certainly be talking about that later on this video too. I am Dala. Supergirl, no trailer and Super Bowl, but we're having the start of an incredible, necessary, and very much also awaited Puppies campaign. Isn't it exactly what you've wanted from our dear, successful DCU? Here's to James Gunn, everybody. Sam Raimi recently gave an interview saying that he tried to make a Batman movie. Going from that octopus and Green Goblin moments in Spidey 1 and 2, I believe so dreamed horror-like Batman movie so many fans want couldn't work so well with him. And in a recent interview also, he stated what it takes to make a superhero film. And it goes...
I think whenever the writer and director and producer focus on the character and do so truthfully, it can work, and it can work great. So many excellent stories. I mean, these are our heroes. There's decades of great material in the books that have been written by those bullpens, whether at DC, Marvel, or Dark Horse, and the material's there waiting for you to bring that character to life, and I think nothing's missing. I think they're on a really good track. Excited to see another really great superhero movie.
Did you see? Use the source material, stick to it, don't just hint at it or pretend you're doing it, and don't make it about yourself or about dogs. It's that easy. And we lost Sal Buscema, brother of the great historical John Buscema, at 89 years old. A great career making some of the finest art, panels, characters, and the groundwork of what we know today as comic book art. He will be missed by all fans, not only Marvel's. And well, speaking of Marvel, it is always time to shine when Marvel, and since the almost homonymous guy to this quote is the leader of such rumors, here comes a bunch of them that he brought recently, and you may rest warned. Funny rumors are ahead for as long as the red mark around the screen is there.
Don't look at it. Shut your eyes. Don't look at it no matter what happens.
Secret Wars might be split into two movies. There is a pretty strong rumor circulating that Avengers Secret Wars won't be just one film. It could be two separate parts instead of one giant finale. Interesting. The idea seems to be that Marvel wants enough room to tell its big multiverse story properly, but they might wait and see how Avengers Doomsday performs in theaters before making that call. Mark Ruffalo got people talking again. We seem to accidentally confirm that Chris Hemsworth will definitely be back for Secret Wars. Fans took that as an early spoiler, and some are saying it signals the movie might be divisive. Okay, depending on how much Marvel shakes up expectations, and rumors about Doctor Doom, the unforgettable and unique RDJ in Doomsday, have been swirling, not only about, of course, RDJ playing it, but also because of the mystery and intention around Doom, because it seems like only the audience will know who's behind the mask, not all of the Avengers and the heroes in the story. And so it's about the structure around him, how Marvel is framing it, hinting that he's going to be more than just another big baddie. That's really cool. And Ian McKellen, the other big baddie of the movie, just recently spoiled another point of the plot of Doomsday, confirming that his character destroyed New Jersey. It's a next later reveal and only adds how Doomsday is going to be a huge character-heavy story before Secret Wars even hits the theaters. And Marvel is clearly setting up a massive saga here, a potential two-part grand finale. You're thinking what I'm thinking, right? With Doomsday laying the groundwork and Secret Wars potentially becoming an even bigger event than Infinity War and Endgame. In the end, let's just be happy with cubic rivers in a puppet universe, folks. Rumors about cast and story structure and plot details are circulating fast. And Junkie XL, or Tom Hulkenborg, will replace Ramin Djawadi in the soundtrack of Supergirl. That's very interesting because this guy, Ramin, I don't know how to say his name, making some fantastic soundtracks for so many movies. He even was in Iron Man 2008, Game of Thrones, Westworld, and now he's out and replaced by the majestic, glorious, and fantastic Junkie XL, who's composed, among other themes, the amazing theme of the scene of Flash reversing time and the Snyder Cut. And of course that GunnBozos usually are coming around and what you're gonna say now is neither TARDIS, your little composure that tried you. Yeah, really. Well, did you think what make this fantastic ramen or ramen yawadi jump ship from your little Supergirl movie? Maybe he's not thinking of making his career around dogs peeing on something, right?
And Cosmic Wolf News. Oh, where would it be without you, really? Another piece of the cheap puzzle that James Gunn built with his little gods and monsters in the Lion Chapter 1 seems to be lost. Yeah, pun intended. Have you ever heard how the booster gold ever again? Whatever happened to Started Rock? But they managed to squeeze on a clayface Lily on the hype and the wave of body horror movies, such as the high praise Mason, by the way, The Substance. If you GUNNTARDS did not notice yet, James Gunn does not know what he's doing. It's not his thing. And as you realize, we haven't had a real new trailer during the lame Super Bowl interval, or whatever you call it. We have those little rehashed trailers spinning all around Crypto, and but what can I say? The DCU, James Does DCU, it's about a near 6 years old dude who's going into that sensitive phase of life when animals understand you more than people, and you love them more than humans. So he's going to make movies about him, feels lighter, and so about animals. I didn't mean to be mean, but what can I view? Yes, GUNNTARDS, the DCU is about Crypto, and even though you had trailers for Supergirl, no one cares as atmosphere. We have a new campaign, Pro Patch Lodged instead. And of course, this beautiful teaser coloring that real DC flash to watch your new Crypto teaser troop of all. Isn't it exactly what we expected the DCU to be about? Thank you, Mr. Gunn. Yeah! And now, let's go to the juiciest part of this video.
How about a magic trick? I'm gonna make the pride of the GUNNTARDS disappear.
And will this be a fully exclusive 45-day theatrical window?
Fully exclusive to theaters, yes.
And will this be self-enforced? In other words, if you fall short of that?
It is the industry standard for self-enforcement. However, routinely, movies that underperform, the window moves a little bit, and Superman was a little shorter window, and Sinners was a little longer window, and Superman was a little shorter window, and Sinners was a little longer window,
and Superman was a little shorter window.
Routinely, movies that underperform, the window moves a little bit, and Superman was a little shorter window, and Sinners was a little longer. Routinely underperform, and Superman, but they still could refer to it as a 45-day window.
What? Oh my God. The GUNNTARDS, Bozo's Shoes and Stans, and also the followers of my dumbest cousin are in excellent shape from now on because the intellectual gym they're putting on to justify or mystify over these words, these clear words, these obvious, honest, Freudian sleep words. I mean, you deserve to have an universe where dogs are the center because their failed rated R screenwriter and CEO loves dogs. Oh my God. First of all, props to Sarandos for having the courage to stand under oath before the US Senate during a time like this to explain the biggest purchase of all types in entertainment, and for having the questioning of the quality and intentions of Netflix productions. Didn't this guy take the pressure?
Why is it that so much of Netflix content for children promotes
a transgender ideology. Just looking at the data here, if you turn on Netflix, you'll find that an enormous amount, and I say this as a parent with 3 young children, an enormous amount of your children's programming has this ideology and agenda in it. Is this an ideological commitment you have? I mean, why is this?
Literally, Netflix has no political agenda of any kind. I would tell you that.
Well, then why is your children's program so full of this highly sexualized, highly controversial agenda? I don't understand it. It seems strange to me.
Respectfully, sir, it's because it's inaccurate.
You're saying it's not there. You don't have trans. You don't feature trans characters, trans storylines, trans themes. It's not in your programming. Why is almost half of it? Why does almost half of your children's program feature this highly controversial, highly sexualized material? That just seems strange to me. It can't possibly be a reflection of the population.
Senator Hall, I don't have any idea where that number would come from or what that would be. I don't believe that's been your personal experience. But I can't speak to that.
You don't think that I monitor what my children watch? My personal experience is that my 3 children, I can't let them watch anything they want on Netflix. I can't let them watch anything on Netflix unless I preview it, because I don't have confidence in what's on your platform. I don't want my kids being pushed an agenda about their sexuality or gender identity. I don't know. That seems pretty concerning to me. I know you make a gob of money on it, and maybe that's the answer. But it just seems to me that it's a disservice to the parents of this country, particularly given what's happening with our youth on this subject.
You know, one thing excuse me for 1 second. Of course.
So obviously, under this amount of pressure, no rehearsal, no prep, he'd spill the beans fair and square, like he did, telling the truth about Duperman. But GUNNTARDS, Bozos, and my little cousin followers are all like, oh, look at this, you did not see it right, you did not hear it right, you're so dumb, what he made was something else. No. What he said afterwards was, of course, different, because he could steam down that pressure, and probably he realized in the back of his head, what did I just say? Uh-oh, the Snyder fans will skin me out.
Given all of the success, last year earning more than $4 billion globally, with movies like Minecraft movies, Superman.
And this video been used to excuse, from my own dumb cousin and others, that what the senator said is the truth. That is the truest form of how dumbfounded GUNNTARDS are. Oh, the senator all said it was a hit, like in the other movies. She mentioned that. No, you hypocritical, insignificant idiot. Stop reversing the logic, dude, if you're ever able to do it.
Hey, I'm a retard. You're worse.
Jurassic World Rebirth made even less than Superman. That's why it was pulled out. Stop making logic upside down. More than you GUNNTARDS are used to. It's getting even more embarrassing.
Man to woman.
From penis to vagina.
There is no fix to that. He will engineer your excuses out of this forever. Netflix president was granted a contract extension just as good as Man of Two Boring premiere in 2027. Said it loud and clear. On the same quote, on the same line, underperformed, Superman pulled out. Underperformed, Superman pulled out. Underperformed, Superman pulled out.
It's that simple.
And the whole idiocy of James Gunn saying that Superman was pulled out to help Peacemaker. The same series that they knew no season 2 would be made? Really? Of course. This is the same guy who said Superman didn't do well. But wait. Wasn't a hit? Wasn't it a hit?
Leave me alone!
He said, things are not helping us. Of course they are. It's a hit. But he said it didn't because it's not a known commodity, and because of anti-Americanism.
I'm retarded?
And the aftermath is rather interesting. The Sync that I spoke a few minutes ago is a picture from the band and their restored Snyder and cut right after the surrender of the statement. And My Time to Shine Hello, I heard his anti-Snyder, does this post and look at the response of the audience. I mean, accepting your defeat is adult, mature, and it prepares you for the massive landslide crushing victory Marvel will have over the child book level universe that James Love's Dogs and Weird Brothers Gunn has created.
It's gone.
Now, I'd like to start a new session.
Oh my God!
The micro reviews, because they were sick and tired of this self-loaded proud for reviewers. I think I really want to see them exercising and stepping in my beloved English into their elaborated funny opinions. You need something more direct. So Tron Ares is the kind of film you'll watch when you've got nothing better to do. Sorry to say that, but the Tron of the 80s was groundbreaking visual and narrative-wise. The second Tron kept that same punch, and the soundtrack was absolutely amazing. But this one, it only tries to continue the story from where it left off in 2010's Tron Legacy, but it's feeble in accomplishing its mission. Even the soundtrack by 9 Inch Nails fails in being remarkable, like Tron Legacy was with Daft Punk. And the premise is really cool. There's a great concept, great potential to be explored here, not only to be a continuation, but also an expansion from Legacy. And of course that Jeff Bridges cameo is there, but not the actors from Legacy, because, you know, it seems like Jared Leto, I love him, but times are hard for him now, championed this movie, and he kind of made it revolve only around him, the character Ares, and that blew a little bit for me. He's uninspired and all over the place, but watch out for Aaron Peters. He does a fine job here, and he's on his way. A good 6. Now, 2026 Netflix shining jewel, The Rip, which of course it watched regardless because of its dynamic duo. Band and Matt are there, and it works as a police suspense under the heavy tense of Netflix visual standards, which makes it a tad too much colorful for me for this type of film. And the twists are very interesting, as they should be, because the plot had to amaze two of the coolest and best writers and producers in Hollywood, Affleck and Damon. Well, it kind of drags a little bit, maybe because it does really follow the formula that Netflix demands, according to the news that Matt Damon spilled a few weeks ago, that you have to make it repeated and full of synchronized action scenes to get people off their cell phones to the screen. So it goose steps, that's the best word, but it could have been really, really great. Some guys are there for no reason, like Tayana. She is a great actress, but she plays the usual random black female police officer, the police cop, the girl cop who shoots some lanes and acts cool and all, but that's it. And the chase scene inside the suburb, which was a hope for everyone's eyes of the trailer, with, you know, a guy jumping from ceilings, it lasts too little, and the movie leans happily on interchanges between Damon and Affleck and other characters, and of course the interchange between Affleck and Scott Adkins, the Batman who was and you hope to be again, versus the Batman that could have been. That's really cool, but that's kinda just it. It's a good 6.75 for that. And now the shining jewel on Cameron's Frown Avatar, Fire and Ash. There's a certain cult or niche that loves this movie, and everyone is always invited in, or everyone stays, but it made, like I said, nearly 1.5 billion so far. So the whole thing of how after COVID movies are different, theater audiences are different, this is why Superman and superhuman movies be not boring, that's a lie. I do stay because of the visuals. There is no universe in pop culture today so incredible as the one that James Cameron created for this Avatar verse. It really goes from where the last left off. the way of water, and it's really like the way of the water structure and predictability, but with less water this time, thankfully. But the main problem here is the flow. I mean, James Cameron's prowess in making movies like this also is his main enemy, because he can literally film 9 hours of blue screen or virtual scenarios with his actors, cut up what he doesn't want or doesn't need for his movie, and render just what he wants and throw away the rest or use for the next movie maybe. So the movie feels chopped and pushed, and it hops in terms of narrative and approach, and it really doesn't help. It's not sluggish like Way of the Water though, and that's a great thing. But there will be a sequel, of course, 1.5 billion, so get ready for more actual big blues.
Keep that change, you filthy animal.
And that's all, folks. Thanks for watching. Hit like, subscribe, share, whatever. But I'm not sure if I'm coming back after this one, especially because I know that my mission will be completed for itself automatically. Thank you, Mr. Sarandos, if you know what I mean. But before you go, or I go, do you even wonder why there is the 875 in my name? It refers to a US law that prescribes how unlawful and criminal it is to threat others online. Not only usual threats, but, I mean, is there any sort of thing called usual threat, but actual death threats? If you could, please check Aaron's video about how he was threatened by, unfortunately, so-called DC fans, following individuals here who basically acted like some sort of a YouTube Charles Manson, sending his troops to threat others who merely support something they don't. If you ever see that here or on any other social media, please report these people. I do it, even if it was my cousin. James, God, help me,
This song,
James, God, help me, help me.
This song, listening to this song.
James, God, help me, help me.
This song,
help me.
This song, it's A-I-made. That ain't no wrong. This song, it's only for a background purpose. This song, it is meant to keep your eyes on this silly pun, of course. This song was placed so other links could be too. This song, it stimulates viewers to sub, and that's damn cool. This song Much.